And in the last few moments, Tony, we've heard from Eddie Hearn, who, of course, is Joshua's man. And Eddie says, I don't want to get involved with back and forth that are going on to negatively impact this fight being made. But to be honest, we're baffled by the situation. He says, last Monday, we sent our final draft of the contract to Queensberry, only to see that Fury had publicly pulled out the fight and it was no longer on the table. He says, I'm not sure why Tyson Fury keeps setting unrealistic deadlines whilst also offering the fight to a number of other heavyweights for the selected date. You can't publicly keep pulling out of a fight and then restart negotiations when there has been so many positive conversations had. We'll see what happens from here. Frank Warren, back in your court. What happens from here?
Well, I mean, look, he's absolutely right what he says. Him and George have had some really positive discussions throughout. However, that's all there have been, discussions. We turned the draft around in 36 hours. It took them 9 days. They told us yesterday they'd get the red lines back yesterday. Was sat up until 11 last night waiting for it. Nothing came. Delays happen, and Tyson, it's not he's putting deadlines down. I keep explaining to him this, and then nothing comes through. So how do you expect him to react? He's training and wants to fight on December the 3rd, and he wants to know who he's facing. I mean, Tony's in there. Tony knows what fighters are like. They need to know who they're boxing. And this is just dragging on unnecessarily. It should be happening now.
Right.
And
I think that I get the impression, looking at the messages coming in, Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn, get it done. So
we're in agreement with all them, but we can't get it done on our own. Where is the contract? Get it signed. Phone us. Where's the phone call? You know, George has made a couple of phone calls today. No one's called back. So what are we meant to think?
Eddie said it took over a week to receive the draft contract, though, Frank. He said yesterday we then received comments back from Queensberry on our final draft of the agreement, of which is now being reviewed. So they're reviewing it, and then you'll probably get an answer today.
Hang on, we're drafting a contract from a blank piece of paper. So that takes time, and that was done. We wanted to try and get it in shape and form that everybody was happy with. We sent it to them, and we got nothing back, and that was on the Friday, and we got nothing back until Monday at 11:30 at night. How can that be right?
They seem to be frustrated with Tyson keeping on setting unrealistic deadlines and at the same time offering the fight out to a number of other heavyweights.
Well, listen, if he's not... nothing's coming back from him. We're not sitting on our backsides. Of course we're talking to other people. If he's not going to sign us and not ready to go, we're not going to scramble around. We're going to have a plan B. He wants to fight. He's fighting on the 3rd. He needs to get in the ring so that he's got a fight and he's ready for the big fight in February, March against Usyk. That's where he's at. He's had one fight in a year. He needs a fight and he's going to fight.
So based upon what you've just heard, Frank, from Eddie Hearn and his press release to Sky, what do you expect to happen now? He's pushing back, saying that it's all been conducted in the public domain, it's unedifying. Tyson Fury's running around putting on false deadlines or unrealistic deadlines. You're in the background making different fights happen, potentially because that's what you're doing. What do you expect to happen now? Given what you've just heard from Eddie, you must now be expecting a contract available to be signed by both parties today or tomorrow, mustn't you?
Yeah, we're here all day to make it happen. It's coming up to 1 p.m. So far, we've attempted to contact their team a number of times today and had nothing back from them. This is after being promised the contract back yesterday. So what else can you do? And I remember, I tell Tyson this. So what do you think he's going to do? He's getting pissed off with it.
Yeah, Frank, why don't you just come in tomorrow and join us for the 3 hours? I mean, that's how it's working out, isn't it?
Well, I may as well. I think you should call it. I think I could be the third party.
Yeah, it's Jim White, Simon Jordan, and Frank Warren live on talkSPORT.
The Three Musketeers.
Exactly. There you go, Frank.
Listen, at the end of the day, no ego, no nonsense. AJ needs to instruct his legal team, his manager, and let Matchroom finalise if there are any outstanding matters between us, and get this deal done. We're here waiting for contact from them.
Okay, Frank, listen, thanks so much. Maybe next time you're on, you'll be on to confirm that the fight goes ahead on December the 3rd. Thank you so much. Conor Ben's trainer, Tony Sims, is here. Of course, used to train Anthony Joshua. Tony, what kind of sport is this you're involved in, my friend?
Listen, Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are the master of contracts. But all I know is that when you're doing a contract, i.e. like we've just done the Conor Ben and Chris Eubank fight, it takes a lot longer than a couple of weeks to get a contract over the line. There's a lot of small print in there that needs to be going through. You don't just sign a contract, say, because it's someone's hurrying it up, i.e. Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
It takes time, and lawyers take time, and it's a very difficult.
Sure.
Do you see this fight getting over the line for December the 3rd, Tony? In your heart of hearts, do you think that it's going to happen?
It's very close now, and I don't know. It was always a bit of a rush job to get it on for December the 3rd. That's not far away, and is Joshua actually and Tyson Fury actually in deep training, for each other? I don't know. I think I'll be very surprised if it did get over the line now.
Okay, well, we're following it no matter what. Your fighter, Conor Benn, is in action before all that on the 8th of October. We wish him well against Eubank Jr. Tony, thanks so much for being with us in here this lunchtime.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. It's great to be here.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.